What's up, everyone? Welcome to day 4 of my brand new small account challenge. I have to say, I am so impressed with you guys. We are now at $51,961.03 in money raised for charity. Now, some of that comes from my trading profits. All the profits from this challenge are going to charity. And a lot of it comes from you guys who've been hitting the thumbs up on episodes just like this. All the episodes in the series, every thumbs up adds an extra $1 for charity. Now, here's the problem. You guys are blowing me away. Today was a smaller green day. It's green nonetheless, but I've got some real catch-up work to do. So do you think I'll be able to beat you guys? Do you think there'll be a day where I lock up 15 or 20,000 and just jump right ahead? I hope so. I hope so for the children. So, thank you guys as always for tuning in. I hope you hit the thumbs up. Let's go ahead and jump into today's recap for day 4. Okay, day 4 of the small account challenge. Green day, but not a huge green day. Up $842.96. That's going to put my account now at $19,000 going into tomorrow. Up 950% in 4 days. Well, I certainly can't complain about that. But there is no doubt about it, today was my smallest green day. I also traded a lot less than I traded yesterday. You can see I only took 4 tickets. So a ticket is each individual trade. So 1 buy order, 1 sell order, and then 1 more buy order and 1 more sell order. I traded 2 stocks. So let's look at the P&L for today. There it is, $842.96 on these 2 stocks, SPRC and EVAX. Now, if we look at the charts right now at this moment, whoa, SPRC, it is our third leading gapper in the market. It's up about 86%, but it has been a bit of a roller coaster. Look at this thing. I mean, it goes up and then it comes down. It goes up and comes down. You got to either wear your C-bands, take some Dramamine. God forbid, don't touch the Tylenol. Stay away from that stuff. But well, maybe, you know what? Maybe it'll help you see the patterns better. I don't know. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn. I couldn't say for sure. I'm not a scientist. But what I can say is that this stock was quite volatile today, but not in the way that I found to be easy to trade. And so I was left feeling like I kind of had a decision to make this morning. On the one hand, part of me was considering a no trade day. I thought, look, maybe just trade in the main account today and put the small account challenge on the shelf. Just don't trade in it today. Then I won't do a recap. I'm just going to totally skip this day because there's nothing that really looks good. And then I said, well, okay, but if I was really trading only in a small account, I would show up every day, as I always do, and I would try to find something to trade. But how would I adjust my risk? I would bring my risk down a little bit, try to reduce it. So, if I can make some money, that's great. But if I take a loss, then the loss will be smaller. Now, some people might argue, and I've said this before, that if you don't feel comfortable taking full size on the position, you shouldn't even take it at all, because obviously there's something about it that's making you not feel comfortable. Maybe it's the spreads, maybe it's just, something's not quite right. And I think that there is some real validity to that point. I mean, that's the point that I've made before. So, you sort of have 2 sides of the coin here. On the one hand, take fewer trades, but, really high conviction and take big size, knowing that you'll have more no trade days. Or, trade more actively, but reduce the risk on every trade so you're a bit more diversified. You'll have more losses, but it's okay because you're taking more trades and the risk is smaller on the losses, so the amount that you lose is less. So I suppose you tell me in the comments which strategy you think is best. So SPRC ends up squeezing up, as you can see here, and this is the area where I'm kind of watching it. So if you, and I hope you watched my master class where I broke down for you the entire strategy that I will be trading during this challenge, right? So in that masterclass, I shared with you my 5 pillars of stock selection. So if you haven't checked it out, at the very least, I'll put a link in this episode right here where you can download those PDF resources that I made available to everyone who watched that class. Those PDF resources include my small account worksheet. It'll share with you the 5 pillars of stock selection and my trading plan that I'm following during this challenge. So SPRC met all 5 pillars of stock selection based on price, float, rate of change, relative volume, and how much, and the news that it had today. And it was up quite a lot. So it's already up 65%. So what I was waiting for was a pullback. So we've got, as you can see, 3, 4, 5 green candles in a row, squeezing higher, which is great. First red candle dipping down. And so I'm looking down here to buy this for the next candle to make a new high. Now I end up getting a little fancy on this trade. And rather than waiting for the confirmation of the first candle to make a new high, I actually start looking and asking myself, where is support on this? Now, I have my order entered for 7,000 shares. That's using 50% of my buying power instead of 95% of it. I just want to be a little bit more conservative on this trade for a couple different reasons. The stock has had a history of popping up, as you can see on this higher volume day here, but then selling off. The news headline is okay, but it's a biotech company. It's not as hot as some of the moves we've seen in the crypto space as of late. So as it's pulling back, I'm watching for levels of support, and I noticed the volume weighted average price, which is that orange line. So it's priced at about 628. And so I say, you know what, this could be a great spot for me to buy a dip. So I'm letting it pull back. I have my order entered, and I send it right there. I send the order, and so with an entry here at about 35.36, my thought is that I'm risking only about 6-7 cents a share. So $500 of risk, that's not too bad. So I'm taking about $500 of risk on this trade. The only problem is when I send the order, I fill, as you can see here, 1,100 shares and then 1,800, and then my order stopped filling and it jumped up above the top of my limit, which was 51. So this can happen, especially in a fast-moving market. It can happen with 10,000 shares. It can happen with 7,000 shares. And in this case, I'm kind of surprised it happened. I think, you could argue that with a different broker, I probably should have filled the full order. 7,000 shares on a stock with 2.7 million shares of volume is not a lot. There's obviously thousands of shares for sale here, and I should be buying all of them, really. I should be getting filled because the top of my limit order is 651. What that means is the most I'm willing to pay is 651. So give me those shares. I want all 7,000. And if it means I'm going to get some at 636 and some at 640, 645, 650, 651, that's fine, but I won't get anything filled above that. But what ends up happening is I fill 1,800, and the next thing you know, it's up here at 65, 68. So in this case, I'm not positioned the way I want to be for a really good trade. And I'm a little skittish on the stock. So I end up just taking the profit off the table up here, up at 70, and I just sell it. I just say, I'm just going to take it off the table. It's a small position, so I'll just take that profit. So it ends up being $647.32. So in terms of risk to reward, risking about 400, 500 to make 650 is good. I'm totally okay with that. So that was one entry and one exit. That's it. All right. So now this could have potentially set up for the next candle to break through the high. But because the stock was already a little bit on my sort of list of be careful with this stock, I just wasn't sure. I think we do have something nice here, though, which was high volume on that candle. But even in spite of that, it did not end up holding here very well. There were sellers that came right in. It broke back below the $0.50, and then it kind of failed. So this was at 7:12 in the morning. So it's pretty early. The stock had breaking news, but then, that was it. So then the next stock is EVAX. EVAX is also a biotech company. So this one, I'll share it with you. Typically, I would probably only share that first trade, but I'll share this one with you. It's a very small trade. So on this one, I end up getting in this and getting a quick trade on the break of the whole dollar. And it wasn't a really super great trade because usually I'd like to get in on the bottom side of the $0.50 whole dollar. So in this case, at like 4.95. But I ended up waiting for it to break 5. So what I was doing right there is I was just checking my charts. Now, this is a stock that also meets all 5 pillars of stock selection. It has breaking news. It's moving up. It's up 46%. And, it's kind of broke this level here, and I missed that trade. That was probably the best spot, and I kind of missed it, and then it sort of pushes higher. So now I'm sort of like, okay, the 200 moving average, how much room do we have? So, I was watching this to break the 200, and there it breaks it. So now I'm thinking, okay, if we're above the 200, then this could give us a nice move. So by the time I'm up here, you can see it's already 499 by 5. I press shift 1. Maybe that was from earlier. It was too many shares. So I change it to shift 3. No, that's shift 2. And then I'm like, even that's too much. So I change it to shift 3 for 3,000 shares. Then I send it, but I get filled just above 5 at 506. I do fill the full order. It goes up here to 525, and I end up taking the profit. I'm just kind of, I'm like, oh, I got in a little too high. That wasn't really well timed, and I better just take it off the table. So, these basically were like small little scraps that the market gave me, and I took the little scraps. I probably could have easily just had a no trade day today, but on the other hand, I've got an extra $800. So, and I have 6 times leverage, nearly 900. So I'm going to have almost $5,000 more buying power in my account tomorrow. And that means if I see a stock that's $4 or $5 a share, I'd be able to buy an extra 1,000 shares of it tomorrow. And so if we end up having a stock that has a really great catalyst, I could end up having a great day. So these little days, like today, just add, incrementally a little more buying power, a little more buying power. The account is growing. And of course, this is good for, as we say, the children, because all of this profit will get donated to charity. So at the end of the day, if I can make a little bit more each day, that's a good thing. And you guys hitting the thumbs up and subscribing to the channel is also a good thing, because you can help with this fundraiser for charity. So thank you guys. I'm so impressed with what you're doing. I really appreciate it. And this has been a lot of fun. So tomorrow will be day 5 of the small account challenge. And I'm looking forward to hoping that we have a really nice scan with some really solid breaking news. As always, if you haven't already checked out our 2-week trial here at Warrior Trading, there'll be a link pinned at the top of the comments that you can check out, and we would love to have you join. And then you can be watching over my shoulder as I'm trading these markets. All right, as always, again, trading is risky. Please take it slow, manage your risk, and always practice this simulator before putting real money on the line. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning.